In the depths of crime and tragedy, some cases stand out not just for their brutality, but for the chilling absence of remorse displayed by the perpetrators. Join us as we delve into the stories of individuals who, faced with the consequences of their heinous acts, showed no empathy, no regret, and no humanity. These cases are a stark reminder that, even in the face of unimaginable suffering, some hearts remain unyielding. Darkness Unleashed. Keith Ferguson's ominous trail. In the quiet enclave of Cold Springs Township, Kalkaska, tragedy unfolded on November 18th. Keith Ferguson, a name etched in infamy, committed a heinous act, staining the community with unspeakable horror. The Keith Allen Ferguson case, a harrowing incident in Kalkaska, Michigan, unfolded as a gruesome double homicide that shook the community. On November 18th, Ferguson committed a heinous act by shooting and killing his wife, Tiffany Ferguson, in their Cold Springs Township home. Subsequently, he took their 4 children to their grandparents' home in Excelsior Township, where he inflicted a fatal gunshot on James Weber, Tiffany's father. The unfolding tragedy saw the children seeking refuge in a neighbor's home, leading to a prompt 911 call by the neighbor, a Kalkaska sheriff's deputy. This initiated a 7-hour standoff in Orange Township, where Ferguson held a hostage. Fortunately, the hostage emerged unscathed. Ferguson's conduct during court proceedings was characterized by a disturbing absence of remorse. His courtroom demeanor included profanity-laden outbursts, obscene gestures toward the judge, and an overall uncooperative and callous attitude. Even when given the opportunity to address the court, he refused to show any regret for his actions. Facing charges ranging from homicide to kidnapping and weapons-related offenses, Ferguson's disruptive behavior persisted throughout the trial. Ultimately, he was found guilty of first- and second-degree murder, receiving a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
All right, Mr. Ferguson, can I get you to stand up there at the podium, please? All right, I need to have you raise your right hand for me. Okay.
The case serves as a stark reminder of the profound consequences of domestic violence and the imperative for justice in protecting victims. Ronnie O'Neal's Unraveling, a tale of brutality and defiance. Tampa, Florida became the stage for a nightmarish saga when Ronnie O'Neal Jr. found himself at the center of a double murder trial in 2018. The victims, his girlfriend Kenyatta Barron and their 9-year-old daughter, Ron Nevea. In a dramatic courtroom spectacle, Ronnie, opting to represent himself, unleashed a torrent of defiance. He berated the jury, blamed Barron for the murders, and even cross-examined his own son, attempting to manipulate the truth. The trial reached its emotional crescendo as victims' families faced Ronnie in court. Despite the heart-wrenching testimony, he showed no remorse. The sentencing, handed down by Judge Michelle Sisko, reflected the gravity of his actions. Ronnie O'Neal received 3 life terms plus 60 years, a resolute response to a man who, in the face of tragedy, remained unrepentant.
To tell the jury exactly what he saw that night. And you have to ask yourself why that is.
The echoes of his brutal acts still linger in the corridors of justice, a stark reminder of the darkness within. Camilla Gamet, a chilling lack of remorse in the face of horror. Camilla Gamet's case revealed a tragic narrative of domestic violence that ended in the brutal murder of her boyfriend, Marcel Hill. In her trial, Gamet asserted self-defense, insisting she mistook Hill for an intruder in their dimly lit apartment on Lansing Avenue. However, the evidence painted a different picture, detailing a savage assault involving various weapons such as a knife, lamp, hammer, and frying pan. Throughout the court proceedings, Gamet exhibited a disturbing lack of remorse. She not only interrupted but also displayed disdain during impact statements from Hill's family members. In a shocking moment, she rolled her eyes and callously responded to their accounts of Hill's suffering. Despite her claims, the jury found Gamet guilty of first-degree murder. The judge, recognizing the heinous nature of the crime, sentenced her to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The verdict emphasized the severity of her actions and the imperative to address and condemn domestic violence, underlining the profound impact it can have on victims and their families. The case of Camilla Gamet serves as a stark reminder of the need for justice and awareness surrounding the devastating consequences of domestic abuse. Jeremy Christian, unrepentant hate on public transit. Jeremy Christian's case unfolded as a chilling instance of hate-fueled violence on a Portland train in May 2017. Known for his white nationalist views, Christian Christian's actions resulted in the deaths of Talasin Namkai Meche and Ricky John Best, and the attempted murder of Micah Fletcher, who intervened to protect 2 black teenagers from Christian's racist and anti-Muslim slurs. Christian's courtroom behavior was marked by a disturbing lack of remorse and defiance. Throughout the trial, evidence emerged of his prior violent behavior, including a history of assault and racial slurs on another train. His actions portrayed a man deeply entrenched in extremist ideologies, willing to resort to violence to express them. Legal proceedings exposed Christian's unsettling demeanor, resulting in charges of 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Despite explicit statements showcasing his unrepentant attitude, Jeremy Christian was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms in prison, reflecting the gravity of his crimes. The case serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of hate and extremism, illustrating the profound impact on the lives of innocent victims and the urgent need to confront such ideologies in society.
This is my soapbox! Portland, Oregon, the Northwest!
Malik Terrell, a video game, a senseless murder. A video gaming system dispute escalated to a gruesome murder when Malik Terrell brutally killed Dennis King. Terrell, convinced that King was involved in the theft of the gaming system, lured him into an abandoned building. There, he subjected King to a horrifying assault involving a hammer, stabbing, and ultimately burning him to death. During the trial, Terrell showed no remorse, blaming the victim and claiming self-defense. The judge, appalled by his lack of empathy, sentenced Terrell to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The senseless violence over a video game left a family shattered and a community in disbelief. Sindel Jackson, random robbery turns deadly. The streets of Milwaukee turned deadly for Nathan Potter when Sindel Jackson attempted a random robbery. When Potter, a university student, had no money to give, Jackson callously shot him. During court proceedings, Jackson mocked and cursed at the victim's family, displaying a shocking lack of remorse. Sentenced to life in prison, Jackson's defiance continued as he fought deputies in court. Even his own family showed no remorse for the pain inflicted on the victim's family. The case of Sindel Jackson serves as a chilling reminder of a random act of violence that changed lives forever. T.J. Lane, the smirking school shooter. T.J. Lane forever scarred Chardon High School in Ohio when he walked into the cafeteria with a .22 caliber pistol and a knife. He opened fire on his classmates, killing 3 and injuring others. During court proceedings, Lane shocked everyone by removing his shirt to reveal a t-shirt with the word "killer" on it, accompanied by a smug grin. Charged as an adult, Lane displayed a complete lack of remorse. Despite claims of mental health issues, the court sentenced him to 3 life sentences, ensuring he would never see life outside prison. The smirking school shooter left a community in grief, grappling with the aftermath of a senseless act of violence. As we close this chapter on cases marked by the absence of remorse, the haunting echoes of these narratives linger. The lives shattered, the pain endured, and the unrepentant faces of those responsible leave an indelible mark on the annals of true crime. These stories compel us to reflect on the darkness that can exist within the human soul and the pursuit of justice that must persist, even in the face of those who refuse to acknowledge the gravity of their actions.